everybody, welcome back to Meals with Marsha. Today I'm going to be making a cabbage casserole. Now, this is the first time I've ever making this. I have seen it on the internet several times. I normally make the recipe before and then I post a video, but I'm going to try something new today. I'm going to do it for the very first time. So I'm excited to go on this journey of this new recipe with you guys. So let's get started, okay? The first thing you're going to have is a small to medium cabbage head. Now this is a very hard cabbage head, so it's going to really have a lot of cabbage. I'm not sure I'm going to use all this. I just have to fill up the 9 by 13 pan. And I've washed it, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it for you. I've sharpened my knife. Cabbage can be a tough vegetable to cut, so I'm just going to cut it in little strips like this. You want to cut it pretty small because it's going to have to bake in the oven, so we don't want it to be too thick, but you want to still have a little bit of substance to it. Now I'm going to go across this way, I think, and cut it this way into chunks as well. Okay, yeah, that looks good. And I'm going to put this in here. Now when I cut my cabbage, I always try to cut around, get that piece, it's too big. I try to cut around the core because I do not like to eat the core of a cabbage. Now, I had a cousin, when we used to make sauerkraut, when we would cut our cabbage, we would cut around the core and we would have those cores left, and he'd be like, why don't y'all pickle those cores? So we would stuff them in a jar and we would do them the same way, process them the same way as we did our kraut. And he loved to eat those, but we just don't care for the core. So I always go around that. So let's try this piece. I don't think I'm going to use it all, but we'll see. Now I'm just going to cut this way, long way, kind of into thinner strips like. Okay. And then I'm going to go this way. I was looking at this recipe, and it sounds delicious because we like cabbage. I love cabbage. My kids love boiled cabbage. My husband is not as much of a cabbage fan as me and my kids are, but this just looks like a good dish for Easter, I would think, like just fix with your, because you know you want ham and deviled eggs and stuff like that at Easter, and this would be a great recipe. Okay, let's see. Well, I think I'm going to do just a little more. I might do the whole head, but I'm kind of doubting it. And like I said, this is a very hard head. I always try to get a hard head of cabbage because I think it's the best kind to get. Some heads you get, they're loose, almost like lettuce, and you can't get a lot out of that, and I don't care for that. Okay, let's see if that's going to do it. Yeah, I think that is going to do it with my cabbage. So about 3/4 of that head, so I guess I could have got a little bit of a smaller head, but I can chop this up and make me a little bit of coleslaw to make with like a barbecue sandwich, or with a I don't know, hot dog with slaw, something like that. So I'm going to make a little slaw out of that. Alright, so let me show you how much I have in my casserole dish. About like that. You want about 3/4 of the way full. And next you're going to take a small onion. Well, I didn't have a small onion, so I took a larger onion, but I think I'm just going to slice this part. Not going to use this one. I think I'm just going to use that. And you want to do it really thin. And some people do it whole. I don't like to slice my onions whole rings unless I'm having a hamburger. So I'm going to slice it really thin, just like this. I have to take my time because I need to make sure that I get it thin. And then we're going to spread that on top of the cabbage. The weather is beautiful here at our house. My husband and I just celebrated our birthdays. I was 50 and he turned 49, and we had a great weekend with our children and just celebrating our birthdays. And we went to church Sunday, and it was a good day. It's always a good time to go to church. I love going to church. And like I said, the weather's been beautiful, and it's almost planting time for us in the garden. So we're going to be coming up on that. And I think what I'm going to do is cut that in half after I cut it in, just slice it in half just like that. Let's see here. Now we're going to break it up, and we're going to shred it up on top of our casserole. And I don't know if my family will like it like this. I probably should have minced my onions up really good in the food processor, because I've told you before, they love the taste of an onion, but they don't like to bite into an onion. But I'm hoping that this casserole will cook cook down and they'll just be really soft and it'll just flavor everything really good. That's what I'm hoping for. So we'll see. And I'm using the sweet onion. Vidalia is what I usually get if I can. I can't remember if this one was Vidalia or Texas sweet, but I always use sweet onion. And they always make me cry. I probably should have done this part before I did the video so y'all wouldn't have to see me sniffling and wiping my eyes. Alright, so we got that on there. And it looks just like that, okay? Now, I'm going to just put a little salt and pepper on it. Let me get all this little bits up. I think I'm going to get those in there. I don't want to waste nothing. And I'll save that onion, the rest of that onion, for something else. I'll put it in a dish or something, or cut it up for something else later. All right. I'm going to touch my eyes a little bit. They're watery from that onion. Okay, now I'm just going to sprinkle some salt and pepper on top. Cabbage is really good for you, and this is a good way to get your vegetables in too, guys. Okay. All right, and then it calls for a half a stick of butter. Let me take this off, and I'm gonna set this up top so y'all can see what I'm doing the rest of the time. Get that casserole dish up here. There we go. Now you can see. It calls for a half a stick of melted butter, and you're just gonna pour that on, just like this, just all around. I think you could almost use a whole stick of butter, but I'm trying to go by the recipe. Like I said, the first time I'm making it, so I may change that to a whole stick when I taste it and see how it goes. But anyway, that was salted butter. And then you're going to take 1 cup of mayonnaise, whatever kind you like. We use Kraft or Duke's around here, whichever one's on sale. So I'm going to do 1 cup of mayonnaise. Get my... I love these little measuring cups. They were my mother-in-law's, and when she passed, we had to go clean her kitchen out, and she had all kinds of good little gadgets. She didn't really cook a lot there at the end, but man, she had a ton of kitchen gadgets. All right, and then we're going to do 1 can of creamy chicken soup. We're going to incorporate that together. I've never mixed mayonnaise and soup. Now, I've done sour cream and soup, but never mayonnaise and soup, and I don't think this bowl's going to be big enough to do that. I may have to get another one. Maybe I can get it in there. Maybe I can make it work. Hopefully. Surely. Now I'm just going to mix this until it's combined really well. And I'm a mayonnaise lover, so anything that has mayonnaise in it, I'm usually a fan. Some people don't like it, but I do. I like a lot of different condiments, but I would think that mayonnaise is by far my favorite condiment. Let's see. Looks like it's about to get mixed up there, guys. I just want it to be incorporated really good. Today's Tuesday, and I'm going to be going to work. I'm making lunch for my coworkers, and I like to try out new recipes on them because when I send them stuff, they'll give me ratings. You know, they're like, okay, this needs a little bit more of that, a little bit more of that. So they're kind of my production team. They help me out, but then it gives them a meal to have for dinner that night. So they always enjoy that. Okay. Now we're just going to pour this on the top. See if I can spread it out. Just kind of want to spread it out evenly, if you can. To me, this already looks amazing. And I'm a casserole cooker, and like I said, I'm a mayonnaise lover, and I love cabbage. And now cabbage has a lot of liquid in it. When I was thinking about this casserole, I'm like, well, that is a little dry, and I got thinking, no, cabbage has lots of liquid in it, so I think this is going to be just fine for what you're going to need. All right? Now, let's do it like that. That's what it's looking like so far. Okay, now let me put some of this stuff in the sink, get my mess cleaned up a little bit. I'm a messy cook, guys. I've told y'all that over and over, because I am. I can never get in the kitchen without making a mess. Now, we're going to take 2 sleeves of butter crackers. Now, you can use Ritz. You can use whatever store brand. You can use whatever kind you want. It's just up to you. But I just bought store brand. I always get, Townhouse is my favorite, and I will buy Townhouse crackers when they're on sale, but I usually do not pay full price for them because they are very, very expensive. So I try to, you know, be budget friendly with my meals. See if I have to cut that. I should have got my scissors. And I'll just crush them up in there. And like I said, I'm going to be using 2 sleeves because I got a 9 by 13 here casserole dish, and I want the crackers to really cover. Okay. Alright, get them crushed up good. Oh, that one popped for me. Yay. Okay. Alright. Just like that. And then I have melted a stick of butter. I'm going to pour that in there. And I'm just going to stir that all together until it's combined. And then it calls for 1 cup of shredded cheddar cheese. Now, I've got the mild. You can do sharp, or if you have a different kind of cheese that you prefer, it goes in with the crackers. Now, this makes a lot, guys, and it really would be kind of hard to cut it in half because you have to open the soup and stuff, but you could do it in 2 separate casserole dishes and share. I've talked about that a lot, but I'm feeding a lot of people today, so I'm going to do the whole thing, and this is an experiment recipe, so I don't want to skimp on it. I want to do exactly what it says on the recipe, and then if it changes, then I'll tweak it and I'll let y'all know. Okay, then you're going to spread that out on top. I'm just going to use my hands. They're clean. I washed them before we got started. Sometimes your best tools are your hands. God gave them to us for a reason, I suppose. He did. Okay, put this over here. I'm going to show you. Alright, and that's what it looks like, okay? Now I'm going to put this in a 350-degree oven. Let me see what it says. I need to... bake it at 45 minutes at 350 degrees. So what I'll do is I'll do that and I'll check it. I will check it and see if it's ready, and then I'll come back and I'll show you the finished product, and we'll get a little bit out and we'll taste it for the very first time together, okay? I'll be back in just a few minutes. Hey everybody, welcome back. Okay, now I have cooked my cabbage casserole. The directions said 45 minutes at 350, but I actually cooked it 50 minutes. I looked at it at 45 minutes, and I just wanted to make sure that the cabbage was good and cooked, okay? So I'm gonna break into this and I'm gonna show you what it looks like. It's going to be piping hot, I can tell you that. Ooh, yum. Yeah, there's some liquid in the bottom of that, and that is from the cabbage. The cabbage has a lot of liquid in it. All right, so this is what it looks like. It looks yummy. It's steaming hot. It smells amazing, guys. I'm going to try a little bite of it if I can get it cooled off. The cabbage is done. I'm using it, mashing it up with my fork, really easy. So that's done. This looks delicious. And like I said, anything with mayonnaise in it and cheese makes me happy. Let's see here. I'm going to blow it just a second because I don't want to burn my mouth off. Mmm. Oh yeah. That is so delicious. And so tasty. And I'm sure as it sets a few more minutes and kind of just settles back down from the oven, it'll be even better than that. Mmm. Oh yeah. This will definitely be a keeper. Now guys, if you enjoyed this recipe, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Meals with Marsha. And also, don't forget that in the description, I will put all the ingredients and the instructions to make this recipe. And I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.